This man is tearing his underwear crazy. He wants to make a slingshot out of the rubber band, shoot the woman on the rooftop opposite, because he has been trapped for 7 days. This is an uncompleted residential building in the center of the city. No food, no water, no neighbors, no electricity, although there is a busy road below. But this is the 35th floor. He shouted himself hoarse. I can't hear you downstairs. He had an idea. Through the TV from the 35th floor, but the doorman listening to the radio. He is deaf. Not at all. He pricked his finger again. Write the distress message on the cardboard and throw it downstairs. This time, I finally found out, but he took it upside down. I can't read, but he didn't give up. Tear the clothes into strips. Put a big help on the window, then light it with a torch. Now someone can see it. Right. Unexpectedly, the fire ignited the sofa. Not only did he fail to call for help, I almost burned myself to death. Unbearable hunger and thirst. He can only drink his own source of life. Instead, he vomited more. In desperation, he had to climb out of the window. I want to climb down the guardrail bit by bit. When we reached the 30th floor, we found that there are no guardrails below. Hanging in the dust. His intestines were blue with regret. I really shouldn't be greedy. I found the black agent. His name is Mike. I just chased the goddess a few days ago. He wants to rent a house for 2 people, but the rent is too expensive. At this time, the person beside said, it's cheap to own an apartment, although it is an uncompleted residential building, but it has been decorated. Refrigerators and televisions are available. 24-hour power supply, but water is only available in the morning. Seeing here, it's both respectful and cheap. Mike paid the rent immediately. I moved in that night. The janitor is sleeping. I didn't see him at all. The next morning, Mike is going to pick up his girlfriend. I forgot to take my mobile phone when I went out. He hurried back. Just then a gust of wind blew. The gate was closed, but the key is still outside. He quickly found pliers and spanners, but no matter how hard he tries, I just can't open it. He hurriedly called the lock company, but I didn't wait to get through. The cell phone will run out of power and turn off. Sweating, he turned on the air conditioner, but the whole house tripped. He began to panic, clap the door and shout for help. But this building, which has been abandoned for 2 years, is empty. No one. He came to the balcony and shouted to passersby downstairs, but on the 35th floor, the sound can't be heard. In the evening, he waved a flashlight on the balcony, but this light is too weak. Fortunately, I still have a packet of biscuits and half a bottle of water. At this time, he did not realize the seriousness of the problem. The second day of being trapped in the building, still no water. He tried again to unlock the lock violently. The iron gate is still motionless. Already hoarse, he took a kettle, start banging on the guardrail of the balcony. On the third day, he took down the TV set on the wall. The third day of being trapped in uncompleted residential buildings, he threw a TV set from the 35th floor. The TV hit the ground and made a loud noise, but the doorman downstairs is listening to the radio, a little deaf. Day 5 of being trapped in the building. There is very little food left. Only the last half bottle of water was left. He wrote the distress message on the cardboard with toothpaste, but cardboard is too light. As soon as the wind blows, it floats to the roof next to it. Soon we ran out of toothpaste. He ruthlessly opened the wound of his infatuation. One blood book after another floated down. Finally, one of them landed on the opposite roof. At this time, a woman appeared on the roof. Mike shouted excitedly, but the distance is too far, so he took out a pair of underpants. I made a slingshot with the rubber band on my trousers waist, shooting pebbles at women, but the woman still didn't see the distress letter. Mike tore his clothes into strips on the balcony railing. Put a big help. Hungry and tired, he found the half bag of biscuits, but the bag is empty. It turned out that a mouse stole it. He was most afraid of mice and ran away. As a result, he hit the door and fainted. The next day, he was awakened by the sound of running water. Here comes the water at last, but the mouse's tail appeared under the tap. The timid man was stunned. Watched the water run out little by little. Meanwhile, the guard finally found the distress letter, but he took it upside down. I can't read. That's it. Mike shoots stones at the woman across the street every day. Day 10, the woman finally found the distress letter. She came towards the building. Mike was thrilled. Unexpectedly, the janitor told the woman, I have been here for 2 years. No one lives in this building. Women are not at ease. I decided to come up and have a look, but the empty building is eerie. Women dare not climb after climbing 2 floors. After a while, the woman went back to the roof to collect her clothes. Mike is in a complete meltdown. Are you really going to die here? That night, he lit the cloth on the railing. I hope I can attract others' attention. I see the fire is not big enough. He brought another mattress. The bright flame lit up the whole room in an instant. He danced with excitement. Ken jump. He felt a little wrong. Go on like this. Even if someone comes, he was burned to death. He started to put out the fire crazily again. Day 13, Mike began to hallucinate. A survival expert told him, cockroaches are rich in protein. Just then, a cockroach crawled by, but Mike is a vegetarian. Hungry and thirsty, he decided to be self-sufficient, probably because the concentration is too high. As soon as he drank it, he vomited violently. Fortunately, at this time, there was a rainstorm. Mike had a good time drinking. He made a water collector out of the toilet tank, filled the room with everything that can hold water. The heavy rain revived Mike's fighting spirit. He no longer wants others. He is ready to save himself. The 20th day of being trapped in uncompleted residential buildings. A slingshot made of his underwear. He aimed at a pigeon. This is his first killing, because he is a vegetarian. He fought back his fear. The pigeons were made into fragrant roses roasted pigeons. I didn't wait for him to enjoy it. The mouse that had been hiding in the kitchen slipped out. Take a bite first. Mike was completely angry. I have been so unlucky, even being bullied by a mouse. He caught the mouse and shut it up. Then he collected everything. What you can use to help yourself. He found that the balcony on the 30th floor had no guardrail. If you climb there, maybe you can go out, but in case of falling, or the gate on the 30th floor is locked, there is no doubt that he will die. But if you stay here, the water will run out one day. Think of this. He started sawing railings with fan blades. If you keep sawing, you bake with fire. But time went by. The thumb-thick railing has only one groove. In a fit of anger, Mike took it with one foot. Unexpectedly, the guardrail broke, so he climbed out of the window. He encouraged himself not to look down, shivering down. At the same time, I pray myself not to slide. I don't know how long it took. His feet suddenly empty. Finally, we reached the 30th floor. There are no railings on the balcony below. Mike took off his belt and tied it to the post. Slide yourself down little by little. I finally stepped on the handrail. Look down. The balcony here is bottomless. He had to support the roof with both hands. Slowly move on the thin and slippery steel pipe. Finally, we reached the 30th floor safely, but the glass door is locked. He kicked away. I came to the gate with trepidation. The door opened with a gentle pull. He didn't choose the elevator. Instead, he climbed down the 30th floor on foot. When passing the guard on the first floor, Mike stopped. He looked at my uncle, but he didn't say anything, because all this is no longer important. In the hospital, my girlfriend came to see Mike, but she has a ring on her hand. Mike was in agony. I came back from the ordeal, but I didn't expect. There is no one waiting for you here. After recovery, Mike went back to the room again. When he entered the door, he checked the door lock. Although this place has been redecorated, but the railing outside the balcony is still broken. No one will ever know what happened here. Maybe the world is still the same, but I'm not the timid one anymore.